What is going on, all you card collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the 40-year-old collector. So today we're going to be finishing up our 1950s NFL Hall of Fame PSA graded rookie card collection. So I've already done the first two videos. This is the biggest of the three videos because we got that 1957 top set, we got that 1958 top set. So well over 15 grand worth of cards in this this video, which I'm super excited to show everybody. I also want to express my appreciation to everybody out there. We are at $100 that we're going to be donating to our local children's cancer charity. So for every new subscriber we get, we're donating $2 at the end of this month. So this is our Cards Against Cancer month. And, I'm shooting this on Tuesday, so we got 10 days left in this year. So hopefully we get some subs and we get that up, as close to $200, which was our original goal as possible. So thank you, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the season. Hope you enjoy the video. Hit that subscribe button. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. So let's get after it right now. All right, everybody, it is cardboard time. Let's kick this off. So, first one of the day, Mr. Stan Jones. And this is a PSA 6. Love this guy. Love the Chicago Bears. Not my number one team, but certainly a top 5 team. This is a really pretty card. So, there's only 4 9s and 0 10s out there. This is a PSA 6. It's got a pop of 104, 210 higher. So not a lot of 9s out there, obviously, only 4 0 10s. So you're looking at, if I want to upgrade, it's going to have to be a 7 or an 8. A 7 sold for $78 in September at auction. Outside of that, there have been all buy it nows. So the last 4 buy it nows averaged $110. There's a buy it now on eBay right now for $110. So, if I wanted to upgrade, I could wait for an auction and, maybe end up in the, 80s, 90s. We'll see. Or I can just pull the trigger, buy it now for 110 if that, buy it now looks like it's got, good centering, good eye appeal, and it's just a sharp card. But, I think right now I'm going to stick with this 6. Beautiful card. And I bought this a long, long time ago, and I actually remember purchasing that card. Can't remember what I paid for it, but I know it certainly wasn't a ton of money. So next one up here, we got Mr. Roosevelt Brown. So this is another PSA 6 from the 56 era. It's got a pop 109, 272 higher. There's actually 110 out there, so you don't see a lot of 10s floating around in this space. In my previous 2 videos, we didn't see many. There's 10 9s, so decent little 9 population as well. The previous 4, if I wanted to upgrade, the previous 4 PSA 7s averaged about $120. And believe it or not, there's a buy it now on eBay for $120 for a PSA 7. So if I wanted to upgrade, or if somebody was looking to get into this card, there's a right priced one on eBay, which doesn't always happen at the buy it now price. But compared to previous comps, PSA 7 for $120 sure seems like a great opportunity to get in for one of these cards. So love the card. Next one up is one that luckily I don't have to ever look at upgrading. So this is Mr. Bill George, another Chicago Bear offensive lineman here. This is a PSA 8, and not all 8s are created equal. This is certainly one of the finer 8s that I have. Really, really pretty, really crisp corners, really good centering, really good eye appeal. There's just a tiny little red print dot up here. Yeah, I think the camera picks it up. If it wasn't for that, I have a strong feeling that this might be sitting in a 9 case. So yeah, this is an 8. There's only 13 9s out there. There's 0 10s, so not a whole lot of room to upgrade. The last one of these PSA 8s sold on eBay for $525 as a buy it now. You can get one for yourself on eBay as a buy it now right now for $850, but I think that is way too much. I would not spend $850 on that card. So this next one, this is a card. I remember purchasing it. And I don't believe life you should look in the rearview mirror, but I certainly have some regrets that I picked this card up when I did, only because back when I was searching for this card many, many moons ago, PSA 7s and PSA 8s were really affordable. You could get an 8 for about $200 back then, but I was more looking to fill out my set versus looking for quality. This was in my early collecting days, so I ended up getting a 6 of Dick Night Train Lane. I love this guy. You should watch footage of him if you haven't. The guy was an absolute maniac. Anybody who forces the league to change a rule because you're so violent is a guy that I really like and respect, and I would like to have a beer with. So super cool player, super cool story behind the guy. So for this one, this is a pop 309, so popular player, so a lot of his cards got graded pop 309 here in a 6, 445 higher, so I'm definitely going to look to upgrade this. There's only 5 9s and 0 10s, so that means that there's a ton of those 445. There's 440 PSA 7s and PSA 8s out there. The previous 4 auctions for a PSA 7 went for $175, and they sell for a buy it now for about $225. So if you're willing to spend the extra $50, you can pick it up right now, but not for me. There is a buy it now on eBay for $300 right now. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I've waited long enough. I'll wait for an auction and maybe pick up a really crisp 7 or save my nickels. And this is one of the cards where I would overspend for. Not overspend, but I would spend a good amount of money to upgrade. So I would be interested in buying an 8. So the next one here, I just love this 57 top set in general. I really do. It's got some beautiful cards in it. Super collectible. There's a lot of people who are just chasing this 57 top set in general. This is Mr. Jack Butler. This is a PSA 6 right here. It's got a pop 132. There's 277 higher. Only 6 9s, 0 10s. This 57 set is super tough. So not a lot of 9s and 10s out there. Plenty of room to upgrade in the 7 and 8 space. You know, a 7 in this usually goes for about $100 at auction. And it'd buy it now. When I was looking at previous comps, it was about $100 all the way around. There's a buy it now for a 7 on eBay right now for $240, which you're absolutely crazy. But this 6 card, it's actually, you know, not a bad 6. There is some surface stuff right here. I think the camera's picking it up. I think that's what keeps it from maybe ending up in a 7, but the corners are super sharp. Centering's not bad. Colors are really, really vibrant. You know, from arm's length, you can't really tell the surface issues on it, but something I don't think I'm going to upgrade right now, but it's nice in doing my research to know that, you know, an upgrade isn't going to break the bank at all. So next one, really, really popular player right here, Raymond Berry. Again, keeping with that 57 top set that's just absolutely beautiful. So this is a PSA 6. Lots of PSA 6s out there in the world. 239 PSA 6s. Really only 230 higher. I thought there would be a lot more 7s, 8s, and 9s out there. There's only 55 PSA 8s, which really, really shocked me. There's only 3 9s and 0 10s. So PSA 7 is pretty much as high as I think I can afford. They sell for about $825, which is crazy. And there's a buy it now on eBay right now for $1,000. So I might be sitting on the 6 for a long, long time. Just don't think $825 to upgrade from a 6 to a 7 is what I'm looking at right now. Plus, that's not a bad 6 by any stretch of the imagination. So next up, we have another 57 tops. It's just going to keep on raining 57 tops here. Mr. Tommy McDonald. This is a PSA 7. This card has beautiful color to it, beautiful surface to it. It looks like the centering is what kept it back a little bit. So pop 187 in PSA 7, only 91 higher. So there's only 5 9s, there's 0 10s. You know, so we're looking at like 86 PSA 8s out there. I have no desire to upgrade it. I love this card. I think it's you know, got great eye appeal. There's a little bit of schmutz right up here. Outside of that, though, the card looks really, really sharp. Really, really sharp. So I love this card. Great player. And again, here we go. Another one. And I have featured this card in several of my videos simply because it's one of my bigger slabs and people like to see big money cards. So I share it, you know, relatively frequently. But this is 1957 Topps Bart Starr. You know, this is a PSA 7 right now. These cards, you know, cost quite a bit, you know, $4,000 or $5,000. So this is a pop 323. There's only 97 higher. So there's only 3 9s, 0 10s. So you're looking at 94 8s out there. Just, it'll never be something that I'll be able to afford. Plus I have a really, really awesome PSA 7 right here. The colors are great. The centering's pretty good for a 1957 card. And I just love this card. I remember picking this up for a couple $100 back in the day. And again, these cards, it's not just about the cardboard, it's about the memories that come along with it. So this is certainly one that brings me back some awesome memories. So here's another card that I was really happy to have in my collection. Happy I got to pick it up years ago when it was still pretty darn affordable. So this is Mr. Sonny Jurgensen right here. This is a PSA 8. Pretty high 8 population for a 1958 top. So it was a pop 186 in a PSA 8. Only 21 9s out there, so 21 higher, 0 10s. But this is just a great card. This is another one. Really pretty, good centering, good eye appeal. The yellow is really, really sharp. It's a little bit lighter yellow across the top than it is on the bottom. That's pretty much my only knock on it. But, you know, you got to be real nitpicky to find a knock on this card. So, love this card. Love Sonny Jurgensen. Just a freaking awesome player in the league. He's got some really cool stories about him. So, no need to upgrade. Love this card. That's definitely a cornerstone of the population. This will be another card I won't talk a ton about because you guys have seen me feature it in several other videos. One of my high dollar cards. Mr. Jim Brown and a PSA 7. I absolutely love this 7. I've seen a lot of 7s out there. I feel like this is on the higher end of a 7. I certainly don't think it's worthy of an 8, but I think that this is a high-end 7. Centering's really good. Color's really good. There's a little bit of markage right here that you can see, which keeps it firmly in that 7 space. Again, I have no illusions of thinking this could be an 8 or a 7.5, but just a beautiful card. I've shared the story before. I paid 400 something bucks for it, and I felt like I made the stupidest decision of my life. I was absolutely racked with regret after I won the auction, but when it came in the mail, I opened it up. I loved it. I mean, I think it's really weird to say you love an inanimate object, but I do. I love this card. So really happy with that purchase, and obviously the power of time and the power of investing in quality cards, it's appreciated quite a bit. So here's another one. Now we're switching over to the 1959 tops. Sam Huff right here. So PSA 7, Sam Huff, Pop 207. In this 59 set, we'll start to see a lot more 9s, a lot more 10s coming out there. I think the print run in 59 was really good, white borders. So we're starting to see some higher populations and higher grades. So there's a Pop 207 here in the 7, 250 higher. There's 33 9s out there, 4 10s. If I wanted to upgrade 8s, run in the 150 to 200 range, that's an approachable price point for me. But again, this card, I just don't see upgrading it soon. The corners are sharp. The color is beautiful. The centering is pretty good. The only thing that I could think of that would be keeping it from an 8 is probably the centering up here. Not quite enough white showing, but overall, this is a beautiful card. Beautiful eye appeal. Not looking to upgrade that anytime soon. All right, so if you ever see me fade out and fade in, it's usually because one of my beautiful, wonderful, love of my life children came into the room and interrupted me while I was shooting videos. Obviously, they're far more important than this, and that just happened. So now that she is okay and everything is done, she has her pancakes. We are going to jump into the next card in the 1959 tops, and that is right here, Mr. Jim Taylor, just another Green Bay Packer, absolute rock star. I shared this story, the Vince Lombardi quote of Jim Taylor. He said, Jim Brown will take his foot away from you, and Jim Taylor will put it through your chest. So just talking about the amazing fullback, the amazing power, just the ferocity with which this man played the game. So love the player, love the story behind him. Again, pretty high pop in PSA 7. We're looking at 260, so this certainly isn't a scarce card by any means. 252 higher, 26 9s and 0 10s out there. PSA 8s will run you into the 150 to 225 range. There's a PSA 8 that is ending on eBay today. I have a bid in for less than $150, so we shall see. I'm the highest bidder right now, but there's still a couple hours left, and I highly doubt that my bid will hold, but you got to do that sometimes, right? Take a swing, see what happens. But this is a great card. If it doesn't go through, I didn't bid aggressively on it because I really like this 7. It's got great color, great eye appeal, good centering. It's just the blazer of a 7. So happy to keep this in my collection forever. Again, I have said this a million times. You're sick of hearing it. I collect cards, not slabs. So beautiful cards, regardless of what the slab says, can stay in my collection forever. Bobby Mitchell right here, another PSA 7, another high pop PSA 7, so 232 out there, 362 higher. There's 52 9s, so really solid 9 population, 7 10s. So this card's pretty easy to get in higher grades. That 7 10s is, I think, the highest number that we've seen in these 50s collections. So 8s are going to run you from 105 to 140 bucks. So I mean, that's really approachable price point. If you can find a nice 8 with good color and well centering, sometimes this green fades out a little bit. So if you can find one good color and good centering, and you can get it for 100 140 bucks, I think that's a really good price point. There is a pretty one on eBay right now. It's at 160 bucks. I don't think I would pull the trigger on it personally, just because I have a nice 7 in my collection. But if I didn't have this card at all in my collection, I think 160 bucks for a 1959 PSA 8 NFL Hall of Fame rookie card with good centering, good color, I would do that all day long. So I just have a beautiful version in a 7, so I don't have to worry about making that pull. Next one right here, Alex Karras. So again, higher pop, PSA 7. We got 216 in the pop report, 311 higher, 33 9s, 4 10s. So not a high population of 9s and 10s. There's a beautiful 8 on eBay right now for 150 bucks, and it is rightly priced against comps. Comps for this card in a PSA 8 are right around the 150 mark, and you can buy it now on eBay with a beautiful centering, beautiful color card for 150 bucks. So again, it's Christmas time. I'm just not in the market for upgrades, but if I was, I would pull the trigger on that in a heartbeat. I think that is an absolute steal for a PSA 8. But again, this card looks good. Look, the centering's solid, color's solid. I've shared before, purple's my favorite color, so I love the purple background on this card. I love the way the blue and the purple contrast. Great player, great card. And then the final one in our 1950s series. Final one, finishing off with a PSA 8. 1959, Jim Parker, PSA 8. Thought this was a great way to finish out our 50 series. Pop 172 in this PSA 8, so lots and lots of 8s out there. Only 29 higher, so there's 27 9s, 2 10s. I'll never upgrade this card. Good centering, good color, good registration on it. Just an absolute blazer. And like I said, I thought this would be a great way to finish out our 1950 series. So that's where we are, everybody. That's the end of my 1950s NFL Hall of Fame rookie card collection. I'm going to be doing this with all of the other eras as well. So if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. This is Cards Against Cancer Month here at the 40-Year-Old Collector. So for every new subscriber, we're donating $2 to our local children's cancer charity. And we're starting to get some momentum going there. So I hope everybody has an awesome day, and I'll be talking to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.